So back in 2017, 11 companies submitted proposals to the California Natural Resources Agency on how to save the Salton Sea from completely drying up. Now, it is a major issue because the receding water supply increases the lake's salinity, killing off fish and destroying migratory bird habitats. It's one of the most divisive issues in our nation. I'm talking about, does pineapple belong on pizza? We'll enter the orange tier starting Monday, and what that means is that restaurants and bars will be able to welcome more customers. But the industry will take some time to recover. Spring has sprung, and that means coyotes are more likely to pose a risk to pets in residential neighborhoods. I have one. I think about this all the time. Did you know the history of gambling right here in SoCal takes us beyond land and actually all the way to the water? On LA Times Today, our Lisa McCree takes a look at gambling ships. Lisa. And then yesterday I got to go to the beach, which, you know, is really my favorite place on earth. So
did you get in the water?
I did. It was my first time in the water.
What was the temp like? It's probably cold.
Well, we should ask Robert Santos in a second. It was cold. I mean, I tiptoed in that water. Once you get in, it's like, you know, you finally get warm. But I would say it was probably like high 60s.
That's right. We are coming in hot this morning. This is your morning on Spectrum News 1. Great to be with all of you on this Tuesday, this first day of June, this June 1st. Giselle is out on assignment. Sarah Pilla joins us here at the table all week. Great to have you with us.
Always great to be here. And we have a hot debate going on whether you like your wings bone in the traditional way or boneless.
I don't like to deal with the wing, with the bone in my wing.
I know. We do not see eye to eye on this one, but we have a poll going
What say
on
you
Twitter.
Out there?
And
we want to hear from you.
I also have a poll going on my Instagram at @sarahpilla. So please chime in. We want to know, and you'll have those results later in this hour when we bring you that story about the wingman. All right, thank you, Parker. And as he mentioned, we're not out of the woods yet globally. India has suffered through some of the worst variants, case counts, and deaths. So if you're wondering if you can help, well, the answer is yes.
Coming up in 10 minutes, we'll show you how a simple bowl of soup could help to save a life. And our Amy Paffrath will be along to bring us that story. Sarah.
Looking forward to that. Well, few professions face more scrutiny right now than police. Their tactics and use of force policies are under a microscope amid calls for police reform. And as a result, some departments across the nation are struggling with recruiting new officers. But the LAPD says that's not the case here, with more people interested in joining the academy than there is room. Our Natalie Brunel shares perspective from one sergeant who specializes in use of force training. Natalie. All right, thank you, Natalie. And LA Mayor Eric Garcetti proposed a budget that increases funding for LAPD by 3% this year. He says the city needs to keep hiring new officers to keep up with retirements. Mel. You know, and that bill, that is Senate Bill 796. And if it was to be passed, it'd really be the first step in this process to ultimately give this prime beachfront parcels of land back to this family that was taking them in the 1920s by eminent domain.
Yeah, and this is an extraordinary family of note. Charles and Willa Bruce, they, like many black folks during the early 1900s, they migrated here to Los Angeles. And they were one of the first entrepreneurs. They had two properties, one of which was here in Manhattan Beach, and they had this oceanfront property. It was such a sense of pride for folks because it was a safe place that black folks could come and not be harassed.
Yeah.
They could enjoy themselves. It was a place of refuge.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody's noticed the price tag for oceanfront property these days, but having that property back then and still to now could have really set up this family for generational wealth for years to come. It's really sad.
They could have been millionaires, absolutely.
Well, East Hollywood is home to a historic olive grove and one that has thrived for the past 100 years. But it is in need of some TLC to ensure it continues on for another 100. Our Christopher G. shows us what's being done to protect the trees. Chris. All right, we hope it continues on for another 100 years. And if you are interested in donating to help the Olive Grove Initiative, visit barnsdall.org/landscape. Melvin. Awesome.
Amy Paffrath, thank you so much as always.
Thank you, Amy.
Always a pleasure.
I've gotten a chance to do some ceramics, and I do love throwing on the wheel. It is
so fun. We did it on the SoCal thing. We actually went to Still Life. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's fun and
so
relaxing.
Fun.
All right, you guys, it is time for a very, very quick break. But when we return, a group of students, they are leading the fight for housing in Arcadia. That is a story you won't want to miss. We'll introduce you to the young people pushing for tiny homes. Stay with us.